Hey guys, Ivan here with another video for today, and in this video we got a couple of really interesting bodybuilding updates. The first thing we're gonna talk about is Tyler Mannion's breakdown of the China Pro. Now guys, I honestly did not expect Tyler to even make a video about it and try and explain why this robbery happened. It's a robbery everybody is talking about. In my opinion, at least, it is a robbery. I definitely saw James winning this show before I saw these photos, these high-quality photos in the video. So now I'm not even sure. With the 10 Behrouz head in the live stream and in all the other videos and photos I saw so far, it definitely looked like James was an absolutely clear winner. However, looking at these photos that Tyler just posted, it's not that clear. It's not that obvious because with a higher quality footage, you can see more clearly how conditioned Behrouz actually was. But still, I don't agree with Tyler's view, with his breakdown, with how he judged this show, again, based on these new videos or actually photos. So let's get into this, guys. Before you hear my opinion, let me play a really short version of Tyler's breakdown. You should go and watch his full thing, but it's like a 15-minute long video. Here you're gonna see basically which poses he gave to each bodybuilder and basically a brief explanation as to why he did that. Check it out.
I give this pose to Behrouz to make it 1 pose to 0. This pose really was very, very close. I think basically at some points here, I gave it to James, at some to Behrouz. At the end of the day, I ended up giving it to James. This one was a clear James pose to make it 2 poses to 1 James. His separation overall in his entire body could be better. I think this is a very strong pose for Behrouz, and I think he clearly takes it over James. That makes it now 2 to 2. You see again the lower body, just how I described. Here you can see that James also needs more depth and width to his back. Behrouz clearly takes this pose again to make it 3 poses to 2 for Behrouz. I still lean towards James on this pose, even though it was a close pose. I just think his strengths, along with his size, just outweighed Behrouz's. I gave this pose to James to make it now 3 poses to 3. Overall, though, when you go with the flow of the pose and basically the balance and everything else, I still think that head to toe, the way this pose flows, and basically you see from head to toe the taper and the separation and the nice midsection, I give this pose to Behrouz. James definitely made it competitive, but for me, it was a Behrouz pose to make this 4 poses to 3. This makes it a very clear Behrouz pose in the favorite most muscular to make it 5 poses to 3. That gives Behrouz the win.
All right, so like I said, I don't really fully agree with this, but sure, I mean, there are some good points here. So the front double, I didn't even put explanation here because it's pretty clear that the Behrouz does win this pose. Yeah, James has better legs, but that's about it. You know, Behrouz has bigger arms, bigger lats, a smaller waist. His upper body is just so dominant, and with his tiny waist, his legs don't even look that bad in the front double. So really, this one, I also gave it to Behrouz, even in the live stream. Let's go with the next pose. Tyler gave this one to James. I wasn't sure about this one, but I also gave it to James when I was analyzing this. You know, I wasn't sure, but here you can see that it's close. It's definitely closer in conditioning than what I thought. But hey, Tyler gave it to James. I wasn't sure, but I'm okay with this. So let's say James wins this one, so that's 1 to 1. The next pose was side chest. I also didn't put the explanation in this one because it was very, very clear that James annihilated him in this pose, and I agree with Tyler on that. Now, where it becomes tricky is the back poses. Basically, Tyler gave the back double bicep to Behrouz because he was wider and he had more details. Now, sure, I will agree, James doesn't really have the deepest details, but I thought he was more conditioned and fuller, therefore harder, and I thought he had definitely more details. Maybe he wasn't as wide in the shoulders as Behrouz, but I thought he had better taper. You know, Behrouz didn't have really popping lats here so much, and the waist didn't look that small. I think that was mainly because he wasn't peaked well. James was rock hard, and his glaze was crazy. He just looked really hard in this one. That's why I thought James won this one. In the back lats, but same story, basically. Yeah, sure. James can be wider, but it's not like Behrouz is super wide. Also, his peak wasn't that great, and you can say that James doesn't have the deepest details, but still, in my opinion, he was obviously more conditioned than Behrouz. Harder to the glutes, to the hamstrings, also to the back. So I could give this pose to James. I don't think it's a clear pose for Behrouz, but that's the way Tyler saw it. Side tricep, very close pose. I wasn't sure about this one. I thought Behrouz's side tricep is beautiful. But yeah, James had more size, more thickness from the side. So Tyler gave this one to James. I have no issue with that. Sure. I just have the issue with the back pose. I'm not sure about them, but this one, yeah. Abs and thighs, I also gave this pose to James. Even though Behrouz does have prettier abs and more details in the abs, it's just the discrepancy of the upper and the lower body. You know, Behrouz's legs are really thin here. And James had massive quads. How do you win an abs and thighs pose with no thighs, no quads? So even though Behrouz's waist is smaller and he has a little bit better details in the abs, I still think James won this one because of the massive legs he has. And as far as the most muscular, I didn't want to put an explanation for this one because it was clear that Behrouz won this one. So in my opinion, guys, the way I saw it, Behrouz did win most muscular in the abs and thighs. The other shots, basically based on Tyler, Behrouz won this show because he was a clear winner in the back poses. And I didn't see it that way. Yeah, sure, Behrouz, that is 100% on, beats James in the back poses, but this version of Behrouz against this James, because of the conditioning and the hardness and the fullness, I saw James winning. But this guy was there. He was just the first row in the judges' table. He saw these guys clearly, and that's the way he judged it. And I'm sure he knows better. He has more experience judging the shows, of course. So let's take his word for it. But I was confused when I watched this. I didn't understand how he thought Behrouz was that clear of a winner in the back poses. But whatever you guys think, tell me down below in the comments. All right, the next thing is something really interesting, at least to me. And that's the whole drama right now on the internet about Fouad Abiad saying that Samson Dauda is similar in a way to Ronnie Coleman. That is a good comparison. I don't know why this created so much fuss. You got the Muscle Discord out there calling out Fouad and basically attacking him, and other people commenting as well, attacking Fouad, and then Beyond the Stage TV Instagram page posting an apology for Fouad saying something like that. And then you have Shawn Ray now calling Fouad an idiot for saying this, basically insulting a guy for having an opinion. Check it out.
Which tells you all you need to know about his breadth of experience. This guy's a fan, not an expert. This guy doesn't know apples from oranges. This guy was friends with Samson. He didn't even know Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman was before his time. He was never in Ronnie Coleman's arena. He knows Samson. So there's a fanboy thing going on there. But you don't have to know Ronnie Coleman to know that you don't mention those two in the same sentence. There's nothing similar about Ronnie's career and what Samson's done.
I didn't think in any way, shape.
That's why I can't listen to Fouad. He's a nut. I said it before. He's an idiot.
And I think this is absolutely crazy because really, Fouad didn't really say too much in that clip. I mean, he just compared Samson to Ronnie Coleman. I mean, who else would you compare Samson? Who else would you compare to Ronnie? Like, especially today or in the last, since Ronnie. Nobody else is a good enough comparison other than Samson. He's the only guy you can compare to Ronnie. I mean, check out what Fouad really had to say on this.
Okay, well, he's not Ronnie Coleman. And I'm not saying he's Ronnie Coleman yet, but that physique is damn close. Like, when you see Ronnie Coleman, you go, wow. When I opened my Instagram and I saw that photo, I was like, what the f is this? Like, what is this?
Sure, this isn't a full video. This is actually a full video, but the short video was posted on the Beyond the Stage TV Instagram page. And in that short video, it seemed like Fouad was saying that Ronnie and Samson are on a similar level or in the same level, which you cannot say, of course. You can't compare these two careers. Ronnie is the best of all time, 8-time Mr. Olympia. Samson barely even won once. But if you're comparing the physiques, if you're trying to find similarities, I mean, they're very similar. They're both super, super massive black guys with super round muscle bellies. Sure, Ronnie was always peeled out of his mind, and Samson is never in condition, but at least as far as the size and the shape, they are very similar, right? I mean, you can't disagree with that. And yeah, sure, Ronnie's a different level. He's definitely way better. But if Samson was in the same condition, as far as like the size, the completeness, and the shape, they're close. They're definitely close. I think Samson is actually heavier on the stage. So yeah, sure, Fouad is maybe saying all this stuff because he's friends with Samson, but he's not far from the truth, and I don't think he should apologize for stuff like this, for saying this stuff. And Shawn Ray disagreeing with him, and all these other guys and the fans disagreeing with Fouad, that's also fine. But if you feel like that, you can say that, and I can see why he would say that. And that's what I have to say on this. Now, since we're talking about the freaks, can you compare Ronnie Coleman to, for example, Sergey Danilov? Because we got the most recent physique update from this freak right here. Of course, you cannot compare this guy to somebody like that, but you can compare him potentially, maybe to, I don't think you can compare him to Samson Dawda, but you can compare him to the top 10 bodybuilders in the world. And this was a debate on Fouad's podcast, whether this guy can crack the top 10 at the Mr. Olympia. And I'm going to give you my opinion, guys. I don't think so. I don't think so. I think Paul Lozon is right for saying that he might be like close to 10th place, maybe like 12th, best case scenario, but not higher than that. And that's also going to be a stretch because guys like Michael Krijo, William Bonek, Brandon Curry, Tonio Burton, Regan Grimes, and so many others are rounding up that top 10. And for Sergey Danilov to crack that top 10, he's going to have to be more complete than this. Sure, he has the freak factor. He has the size. He has the condition as well for this size. He's a freak. He is massive. He's tall and all that, but he doesn't have the structure. He doesn't have the shape, and that's very, very important. It's crucial to be a top 10 guy. I mean, yeah, sure. Ian Valier said that he was top 7, and this guy is potentially better than Ian, but that was a long time ago. Today, Mr. Olympia is way more competitive, so no, personally, I don't have Sergey Danilov in my top 10, but this is just speculation, trying to guess something. You cannot know this until you see this guy on the stage, but that's the way I see it right now. Although he is absolutely freaky at this point, I have him maybe in that top 15, between 12 and 15. That's the way I see it, guys. If you disagree with me, that's totally fine. That's completely fine. Everybody can have their own opinion on this, at least. The sport is very subjective, and this is just me trying to predict something. I don't even know until I see these guys on the stage. So again, guys, your thoughts down below in the comments. Subscribe to the channel. See you soon, guys. All the best, and bye-bye.